The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to another episode of Gate City Chronicles. Today we're the roving reporter. We're here at the Mall of New Hampshire, and we're at a craft store that is created by this young lady here, Jess Moores.
Moores, yeah.
Moores.
Thank you.
Not to be confused with s'mores.
Correct.
And as you can see behind us, it's the Manchester Craft Market. And Jess, you're the owner.
I am.
And you just recently opened?
We have been here for 2 years now.
Okay.
Just celebrated 2 years on March 4th.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, how did you end up starting this business?
So I was actually a stay-at-home mom, and I started making some things here and there and wanted to sell them in the summertime, and that was really difficult. So I decided to come up with my own craft fair. We opened up a temporary store here in 2016 where about 20 sellers were set up with their tables every weekend for 9 weeks. And then I came back and said, okay, let's do this again. And the mall said, here, you can have the old pet store. Go for it. And
That's quite the
I
honor.
went for it.
Everybody comes to the pet store.
Yeah, everyone comes to the pet store. It's a tough spot to work with, but I redid it, and when we first opened, I painted it lime green, and it was that way for about 3 months until I was sick of it, and now it's this Badlands taupe.
Well, lime green is like our studio. You're
Is
like
it?
in a little lily pad, pretty much,
Yeah.
back at in Nashua. So, when you sold your first item, what
Yep.
was the very first thing that you sold?
Very first thing I sold was a wreath made out of an old tablecloth.
Oh, and did you just decide to look at the old tablecloth and say, you know what, I think I can use this for something?
Lots of Pinterest, lots of looking online at different things that other people do, and I said, oh, that one I can do, that's easy. And I did it, and I kept going with it. And then after I did that, I started coming up with some other ideas of my own and just really needed a place to sell them.
So when people go to the mall, they walk the mall and they go by these little booths and things like that, you get a lot of onlookers.
Yes.
And so how long was it before you sold that first item? And before, you see all these onlookers and you get this hope that somebody's going to come and buy it.
The handmade aspect really worked. People weren't expecting it, so they just kind of came in and said, this is handmade and it's in the mall, and they wanted to buy it because it was just so different and not something they were expecting.
And so word of mouth, and people started coming more and more.
Yeah.
So you sell more than just wreaths, obviously.
I do. I sell ornaments too. I make ornaments out of clothing, so when someone's passed away, I take their clothing and make ornaments for the family out of it for their Christmas trees.
Well, that's an interesting take. So how often, that must be, that's interesting.
It keeps me busy.
Does it?
It does.
Wow.
Yeah.
So very sentimental items, and you can make them for Christmas ornaments or any other type of ornaments.
I can.
And do you have to do that special order? How long does it take
It's
you to do that?
special order. I normally get about 4 ornaments out of a shirt, and 1 ornament is about 2 hours, so my turnaround is usually about 3 or 4 weeks just to make sure I have enough time to get them all out of the way.
So if somebody comes in the shop and says, look, we had an uncle, aunt, a husband, and whatever, somebody passed, and we'd really like something made. Do you sit down and talk with them about it a little bit first?
I do. I have an order form, so I walk through the order form with them. I let them know that the shirt is not going to look the same when they get it back. They all get a personalized poem. It says, made from something I used to wear, now a gift for you, so I'm always near. Love, Aunt Joan, love, Mom, whoever the shirt is from.
Wow, that's interesting. That's nice to know, actually. So what other things do you make here?
That is it. Other than putting the whole store together, I do my wreaths, my ornaments, and I run this bad boy.
You run this bad boy. Now, not just by yourself. You have other people that are engaged with craft making.
I have a few people who will come in and run the register for me when I'm home being a mom. And then there's 146 sellers from around New England who make all the stuff that's sold here.
I was just going to say, you can't make
No,
everything
I
that's
can't
in
make
the
everything
store,
in
right?
here.
I see books, I see smelly things, which my wife will be very interested in looking at. Just all kinds of different things. Actually, we're going to take a little tour here, I assume. So, and now, you said it's 2 years.
2 years.
And things are looking good.
They're great. Yep, this is the most sellers we've ever had, 146. We just redid the whole layout in the center of the store to make it roomier. It gets really busy in here at Christmas time.
Wow.
So
You must have a website.
we do, manchestercraftmarket.com.
And you're probably on Facebook.
All over Facebook.
All over Facebook.
We have
And you show some of your-
5,600 likes on Facebook.
That's what that was.
That's what that is.
Number.
Yep.
Wow.
I keep track.
I have a feeling it's going to be one more.
Well, that's good.
So tell me a little bit about these people that are part of your network of hosts that sell items here.
All right. So there's 146 sellers, all from around New England. They hand make every item. They come in, they say, Jess, I want to sell my stuff in your store. So we walk around, we pick out a spot, they rent it. Rent goes from really low for a little shelf to pretty high for a nice big spot. Depends on how much space you need. And then I kind of go through and I check out the items. We want to make sure there's not too much that's similar. And we kind of keep it filled up as much as we can. I have about 16 jewelers right now, 4 or 5 candle makers. We have some authors. We have people who do terrariums and wood burning and Damascus knives. We have a little bit of everything for everyone.
And you're very picky about the people that you allow to show their
I am very picky. I like to know that they're gonna sell well. I don't want anyone to come in and not sell things.
Right.
I don't want anyone to come in and not find something that they like in the store. So I'm picky. I like
So
to.
you must be they must be satisfied that you have so many.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's so much to pick from. Everyone says there's something for everyone every time they come in.
Now, you can come to the mall, but if you're going to come to the mall, don't come on Monday or Tuesdays.
Right. We're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays so I can be a mom.
Ah, very good. Very
Yeah.
important. That's
Very important. My
Yeah.
kids are little, so I want to be home with them when I can.
Do they oversee you doing some of the crafts?
They do. They come in. My daughter is 4. She likes to ring up people at the register. My son likes to restock the cotton candy. So it's a little family business.
You didn't mention you have cotton candy.
Oh, we have cotton candy. I think about 40 some odd flavors of cotton candy.
Okay. So, all right. Do you have chocolate?
We have chocolate. We have Enna chocolate here. We have Loon chocolate down the back. He also does malted milk balls. Those are delicious.
That's just one of your suppliers.
That's just one out of 146.
So crafts includes foods.
It does. Hot sauces, jams, jellies, olive oils, dog treats, shirts, anything you can find at a craft fair, you'll find it here.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we're going to be talking to one of the vendors, Holly Flurry, and you're one of the vendors.
Yes.
And you make candles.
I do.
And as we can see, you make these nice smelly candles.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about them.
I actually started making them before I came up with the name. And I had no idea I was going to end up selling them.
Now, you make them out of soy.
I do. I make them out of soy. It's all natural soy. I use...
Let me ask you something. Where do you get soy?
Where do you get soy?
To make candles out of.
Oh, you can order it online.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's different places you can go, wholesale places that you can order them from. And there's actually one pretty local that I actually drive to pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah, you can buy, I get them in bulk orders.
So you started making them and you had no idea you were going to sell them. So.
Yeah, I started them as just gifts.
Okay.
And I was trying to do another business at the same time, like while I was working my full-time job, and I brought my candles as giveaways, and people really responded to them.
Oh.
So I kind of just went with it.
So you started off with a regular soy candle, nice little gift, and then you know what? This would smell nice if I put lavender in it, or
Yeah, well, the first candle I ever made was Southern iced tea, because the gift I was making was for my parents in South Carolina. My dad really loves Arnold Palmer's.
Okay.
And so I made him a Southern iced tea one. So that's the one I started with.
So Southern iced tea has a smell?
Yeah.
What does that smell like?
It smells just like the drink.
Really?
Yeah, it actually makes you pretty thirsty.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of a lemony type of thing? Or?
It is. It does have a little bit of lemony, more like an ice, like a tea kind of scent to it. Yeah.
What's one of your most favorite?
My favorite. I have too many. Okay. I want to say probably the sweet orange and chili pepper. It has a nice orange scent to it, and then has a little kick at the end that you can kind of sense on it. Cedar leaf and lavender is another good one if you really like lavender. And then there's lemon lavender for those who really like the lemon and the lavender.
So do you have a mad scientist laboratory where you just make all these little concoctions?
I do.
Smell together?
Yeah,
Really?
and I go off of customer recommendations. So I have a long list of scents, and I try to do a lot of the ones that I like. And I'm very sensitive to smells, so I get headaches and stuff at certain scents. So I make a lot of the ones that I can respond well to.
Okay.
And I choose the ones that are the scents that are skin safe. And so as I just started making the ones I liked, other people started asking for, hey, do you have this scent? Do you have black licorice? Do you have... So I just kind of added it as people were asking for them.
Did somebody ask for that chili pepper smell?
No, I kind of like that one.
How did you think of that? I would never think of chili pepper having a smell that I would like in a candle, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I kind of just went with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes when you just add certain things together that, you know, they can surprise you.
So how did you find the essence to that to add? Or I don't want to give away any trade secrets,
No,
but
it's a secret.
there must be a way you get that essence. You don't have to cook chili, obviously.
Right. It's all so it's all fragrance oils, essential oils.
Okay.
I pick the ones that are phthalate free.
Okay.
And the ones that are vanillin free, because the vanillin is what causes headaches in a lot of people.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
no mess, no
mess.
No mess.
Well, you could see my kitchen. My kitchen gets messy, but the good thing is if you drop the wax on the floor or anything like that, soy wax is the easiest thing to clean up.
So is this the place to come here at the Manchester Craft Market if they want to get your products?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And you're open to ideas. So if somebody
am.
wants to contact you and you're not here, they buy your product, how can they contact you?
Usually Jess will give me a message, or they can contact me on Facebook.
And have you ever had a scent that you couldn't get? Any unusual requests?
No,
Like
not
seashell
yet.
or
I did have someone
ocean
request
tide?
leather, and I did make,
Leather?
yeah, I do have a genuine leather smell, which is a bit strong for me, so I do keep that kind of until someone asks for it.
Okay.
But I haven't had any that I haven't been able to get. Some may take a little bit longer to get to find that scent, but I do end up finding them.
Well, wonderful. Well, great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun to talk to you. And I hope you do very well here. This is great.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
And now we're going to talk to another vendor, Robert Veilleux. And I asked Robert what he makes. And these are his creations.
Yes,
right?
they are.
They're your creations.
They're my creations.
So they look like they're all made out of wood.
Yes, they are.
All right. And where do you get your wood products?
Mainly I buy some from vendors, but I do get a lot from my job. I do demolition for a living.
Really?
And I like to reclaim most wood as I can to help reuse it and reclaim it.
So this is the true recycle. Yeah, this is.
I try to do half my products are reclaimed.
Reclaimed.
Yes.
Now that looks very intricate. So do you handcraft these, or are some of them through, say, 3D, or how do you
Actually,
work?
I use an Epilog laser. I design everything on a computer program, and then I let my laser do the work, and I do the rest of the gluing and painting and urethaning, sanding.
So where do you get the ideas from?
I'd like to say they all come from my head, because I'm a very creative person, but I do cheat a little bit like everybody else, and I go on Pinterest and and I see other people's, I see what other people do. I like their idea, but I try to do my own twist on it, or I try to change it to fit my personality and what I like.
And I see in the store there isn't really anybody else that does what you're doing right here. You got mosaics. You have I would assume these are like keychains, or
No, this is my favorite thing. This is what really started me right here.
really? Okay.
Because I was trying to create something that was simple, but I could sell a lot of, and people would really like. And if I could just tell you a nice little story I heard,
Sure.
is a lot of people that buy these, I run into them or they write me on Facebook, and I hear about these going all over the country, but all over the world too. I had a family that told me that they sent some over to their son who's from New Hampshire, and he's stationed overseas, and I like that. I like knowing that my name is in the back of these creations and people are enjoying them at their house.
And you're putting
or
New
around
Hampshire
world.
on the map.
Yeah, I'm putting New Hampshire on the map because I love New Hampshire. I really do. I'm a New Hampshire man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what are these basically? They're just
They're Christmas ornaments. I mean, most people, I hang them up year round, so some people actually hang them in their car mirror, but they are really, truly Christmas ornaments.
little candle holders. I assume that.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep. I'm trying to keep a variety of things, but I want to make sure I put up stuff that people might enjoy, not only looking at, but being able to use.
So one of the things that really catches my eye, everything here, is you have a unique card,
Yes,
and that's made out of wood.
made out of wood. Yes.
So when somebody hands you a wooden card, they're going to remember that.
I hope so. That was the intent.
Yeah. So I mean, you get hit cards all the time. People hand you a card, and whatever business.
in my business,
you hand
yeah.
them a wooden card. It's like, wow. All right.
Well, I figure I make stuff out of wood. I gotta stay true to my
Sure.
my nature here.
That's very interesting. Do you get a lot of requests for that?
Actually, I have somebody that just asked me if I could make oak ones for them.
Oak wood.
So I'm trying to figure out how to really, thin it down enough to do it, because oak's a
you
kind
don't
of a
want
tricky
big-
grain.
right.
It's a tricky grain to work with.
Are there any particular woods that you like working with best?
I actually like yellow pine.
Yellow pine.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just like the smell of it when it's burning too.
All right. Wonderful.
And it comes out. It gives you a nice, and basswood gives you a really nice. I don't know. It really pops out anything you do, because the basswood has one solid color to it and not a lot of grain.
What type of demolition do you do?
We do mainly building. We also do abatement of hazardous materials in my regular job, and that's what led me to doing this, because I was driving around with my daughter one day, and I was pointing out, look at the LA hospital. Dad actually demoed that second floor so they can make those 7 other floors, and she's like,
Oh, wow.
but Dad, you didn't build anything. You didn't really create anything, and it kind of made me scratch my head and say she's right. I used to create a lot when I was a kid, and I became an adult. I didn't have time to do it, and now I'm just a big kid that looks like an adult. I gotta get to create and play with my
I think there's
Spencer
a lot
toy.
of us out there. Are you exclusively with wood?
I've done some glass. I tried glass when I first came in the store, and I had a smaller location over there. But the glass didn't sell as much, and then I saw how many people in here do a lot better glass work than I do. So I said, I'll let them do the glass, and I'll stick with what I know.
So tell me about this old man in the mountain right here.
As we all know, he's been gone for a while now.
Yeah.
He fell off the face of the mountain.
It's like we all knew where we were when it happened.
Yeah, I was actually in Utah when it happened, unfortunately, but I remember my mom calling me and saying, oh my God, you're not going to believe this, and then I saw on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. But that's what led me to create this, because I remember how much my mom, really loved this, and my grandfather used to take them up there every summer to see the old man. And this is one of my favorite pieces that I made. I also set my laser in a way that if you can feel it, it gives a nice 3D effect to it.
Oh, yeah,
You can feel
yeah.
different levels, and you actually feel the rocks.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite ones to make, and help remember a landmark and an icon,
The old man of the mountain, gone
but not forgotten.
but not forgotten. Yeah,
Not in my mind.
that's nice. That's very nice. Great. And you have a Facebook page too?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And it's called Robert's Creations?
No, it's East Coast Kid Creations on Facebook.
East Coast Kids Creations?
Yes.
On Facebook.
I'm not a kid anymore, but the nickname stuck with me all these years.
I'm still a kid. So wonderful. Great. That's great. So if you're at the Mall of New Hampshire and you want to look at some really interesting crafts, everything from Damascus knives to honey to candles, come here. And I think you're going to be really impressed with some of their products. Thanks for watching Gate City Chronicles. Until next week.
preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.